In this video, I'll show you how to set up Roli Noise to work well with Velocity Keyboard. I'm in AUM, partly because I couldn't find a Midi input on the standalone version of Roli Noise, but I do have, of course, Midi input once I'm using the audio unit version of it. So I've put Velocity Keyboard on a Midi track, and I've got Noise by itself on an audio track. I'm opening up Velocity Keyboard and cutting the size down a little bit so that I've got room for other stuff on the screen. We'll keep it down in the corner like that. And I've got this dynamic pad preset. I'm going to set Velocity Keyboard as an input, MIDI input to Roli Noise, and let's see what we've got. Now, many of the patches that we have in Roli Noise work really well with the MIDI velocity parameter right out of the box. You don't have to do anything at all, but this one doesn't. As I'm pressing light and then I'm pressing harder, and I'm not hearing a big difference. So one of the things that you can do if you wanted more velocity, if you wanted the velocity parameter to do something more interesting with these patches, is use this cool new feature that we have, which is called Velocity to CC. So what this is doing is taking the MIDI velocity parameter coming out of Velocity Keyboard and rerouting it to some other MIDI control. For example, any one of the CCs, or in this case, I'm going to route it to polyphonic aftertouch. So this is not the way, apparently not the way Roli meant for this pad to be used, but of course this was probably designed to work with the Roli C board, which has great aftertouch controls. And I'm not using it with the C board. So in this case, I'm going to take the velocity and have it control polyphonic aftertouch instead. Listen to what happens now. So now that aftertouch controls the volume by default in this patch, and it controls the it sounds like it's controlling filter cutoff and a bunch of other things about the sound. And so now all those controllers are accessible to me through Velocity here in Velocity Keyboard. Let's find one that actually does respond to MIDI velocity. This one has good velocity response. So let's take that up an octave or two. That's beautiful. So with this one, I'm going to leave the velocity to CC off because it's already responding to MIDI velocity nicely the way it is. And instead of that, I'm going to use the touch radius CC control and put that onto polyphonic aftertouch. Most of Roli's patches do neat things with aftertouch, so let's see what we get here. This one is. That's nice. So this one is a little bit velocity sensitive, and then it has a lot going on with the aftertouch. So that's it for my demo of Velocity Keyboard working together with Noise. There really isn't much you have to do at all. For most of these patches, you can just use them, and these two apps work together. I think if I were just browsing through the patches in Noise, I would probably put polyphonic aftertouch on the touch radius CC control. We're calling it a CC control. It's technically it's not. Aftertouch is something else. But anyway, I would probably put that touch radius control onto the aftertouch because Roli Noise is really aftertouch is a really big part of what it does. And I would just leave all the other settings at default most of the time, including even that velocity to CC. It seems that most of the patches in Roli Noise don't really need that.